All right. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show today. It looks like it's not displaying. Why is it not displaying? Let me try that again. But welcome to Night Owls. How you doing, Thundero? There
Spec
it is. Now it's showing
spec
up. That's weird.
dubulus. I'm spec dubulus. I just made that up. I
You
think that's
did.
going to be a word now. Spec dubulus.
It should be anyway.
Yeah,
It should be.
sounds
That's
about
fair.
sounds about like a word. Yeah, spec dubulus.
It does. Hopefully everybody else is spectubulous. I got it working now. Yeah, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties, but I'll ask everybody a little bit later for help. Wait till we get a few more people in here. Hopefully, we have ourselves a techie in here that can help me out. You know what we need Pixel. That's what we
We
need.
need a pixel trader. We
We
do need a
do.
pixel. He's probably playing WoW though. I know him. I know what he gets up to. I know what he's
Yeah,
about.
he likes that, huh? That old school stuff, huh?
Oh yeah, he was playing classic WoW for a long time. I don't know if he still plays it to be honest, but I know he used to play it for sure.
I stopped playing that thing long time ago, dude. Long time ago. Anyway, while I get this stuff done over here in this corner, how are you? How was your weekend, dude? How have you been?
It pretty good. No
Yeah,
complaints over here really. Yeah, nothing major. Been a nice quiet weekend for the most part. Losing more weight, down 35 pounds now,
ooh,
as since March, so not even 3 months,
sounds
and it's gonna
nice.
keep coming off. It's coming. I'm getting down there, one way or the other. It's coming off.
Yeah,
I feel a lot better. It felt really good today. So my wife and I, a couple weekends ago, might have been last weekend actually, or the weekend before, whatever. Went to the store, bought me some new, just nice like everyday button-up shirts I can wear, right? Just with a nice collar, nice looking shirts. Um, but I bought them technically too small because I knew I was going to
oh,
lose weight.
right.
Well, one of them fit me today, like full on, could button it up, look good, nice line. I said, "All right, that's what we're talking about."
There you
So
go. Yeah, yeah. I understand
good
that.
day.
Yeah, yeah. No, I had it was like a decade or more ago that I had that diabetes scare, right? I told you about.
Oh yeah.
I lost a bunch of weight. I think it was almost 60 pounds. I think I lost in that run. And then since I've had other little things that have spurted off here or there. But yeah, if you put your mind to it, you knock it off. I mean,
Yeah.
that's definitely true. So
Rule one is just stop eating. Just
yeah,
stop. You don't. If you've eaten half of your plate of food, that's probably enough. Just
yeah,
stop.
that's true.
Just stop.
Well, no,
You're an adult now. You don't have to finish your plate. It's fine. Your dad's not going to come in and yell at you. He might, but it's probably not going to happen.
mine would. He'd feel it from across the ocean. I know. Um, Dude, I spent 3 days eating freaking eggplant parmesan one day.
Oh my.
One time.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
yeah, yeah. That's my most hated food. Is eggplant, and he would be damned if I didn't eat that plate.
You're going to
But
eat that
that's
plate, son. You're going to
eat
get
that
all that
plate.
down.
Yeah, 3 days, dude. I guess I was being stubborn too. But yeah, no. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we get the what was it? Eric says the rumor of Chester's death has been greatly exaggerated. I posted, I do believe. I told you guys what was going on.
Yeah. 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 You live in somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Japan. That's what's
Yeah.
going on.
Well, the good thing is, they had to put that tower up because I guess it's a new type of tower they need, or I don't know what the hell they were doing. But anyway, so I was down what a week? Well, not
Mhm.
quite, 5 6 days, something like that. And during that time, they put that tower up and they did all their kind of stuff. But I was without internet of any kind or even TV here for that time. We were in essence, blocked out. We had electricity, of course, but it was actually kind of nice. I didn't mind it, dude.
I'll bet.
Yeah, I mean, of course, when I went over the mountain to my office, my school, I had all those things. Yeah, no, I didn't mind it. But it's back up now, and it's good. I do have this is part of that 5G network that they're dropping into this area. So I mean, obviously the internet isn't the 5G. That's for the mobile, but it's part of that fiber optic, high-speed fiber optic thing they're putting in here. So the speeds I'm getting aren't bad. They're pretty good. They're not as good as some of the ones I've heard from some of you guys. I mean, a couple of these guys in here had what, like 600 up and 600 down. I was like, damn, I don't have that.
Yeah, I can't even. I don't even think I can get that here, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm happy with what I got though. It's like three something down and like 50 or 60 up. It's not
Hmm.
bad. It's not bad. So I'm much faster, so that's good. I should have clean streams here without any kind of drops. I'm having other problems though, which I should get into before I get into the news, because maybe someone in the chat can help me out. And guys, definitely share this out. We want to have more people come in and say hi, and of course, maybe more of these techie guys could come and give me a hand. But in this room, which is kind of like it's actually the kitchen area in this old house I live in. And But I kind of use it as my like little study for doing my work in the morning, and we just spend a lot of time in this room. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
We have like a more official area for guests and stuff, but we just don't spend a lot of time in there. We live here mainly in this room, and it's good. It's cozy, you know. But anyway, I replaced the TV in this room. It was really old. I had like an 11-year-old Sharp Aquos in this room, and it was fine. But I just upgraded it because the thing's ancient, you know. So I put in just a normal, 4K TV in here, and I'm having a lot of trouble. It's when I'm capturing here on the OBS, it's all washed out. I mean, look, you can even look at Thundero's thing. As a matter of fact, let me check it on the other side. Let me see what it looks like on the other side. Yeah, see, it's all washed out. So that's what I'm seeing is what's being captured. If you look, his is actually like a pink, peach color, but
Yeah.
it looks white here, and my dark green is like neon green. So
Right. Yeah.
s- somehow everything's being washed out. I don't know why. Maybe someone here knows that can help me. It's For the technical side, it's just it's just 4K TV. It's one of those one of those Bravia, the Sony Bravia ones. And I was thinking at first it was size, but I was able to resize all that stuff because this is much bigger. This is like one of those 55-inch ones,
Hmm.
which is huge for this room. I probably should have went a little smaller, but I mean it'll be all right. Anyway, so that's it. It's just a Bravia 4K TV. It's not an OLED. I have one of those, but actually, I'm not a big fan. Do you have an OLED?
No.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I think the technology's too young on that. I do have one of those, but I mean, it's good in certain situations, but I prefer the just the standard 4K stuff. I think it's better. Anyway, so it's just one of those. It's nothing fancy. It's just a pretty much straight up 4K TV. But what I had in here before was not a 4K. It was uh, it was just a TV. Like I said, it was like 11 years old. It was good TV. And I was capturing off of that before, and I had no problem whatsoever. Now everything is washed out, which is weird because looking at the TV itself, which is right, I use it as a second monitor. It's right next to me. Everything looks great. It's perfect, clean as hell. I even lowered brightness and stuff like that, but it didn't change. It didn't do any change on the capture. So maybe someone can help me with that. You didn't get rid of the old TV yet, did you? No, no. I have. I'm going to probably put that in the bedroom. My wife occasionally goes and watches her boring ass Korean drama shit in the bedroom. So you know, and she's got one of those Fire Sticks.
Korean drama.
Mm,
Oh boy, just like my wife, she loves those Korean dramas.
yeah, well, it's that generation. But so no, we had a smaller TV in there because we don't use it hardly. But I figured I'd just switch it out and take the little one, maybe take to school for something or something like that. But I mean, it's not a big deal. Like I said, I don't understand the problem, because it's really not that fancy a TV. It's just a normal 4K. I mean, they're nice, but I mean,
Hmm.
everyone here probably has one of these, right? It's a standard thing, but I haven't ever captured off of one before, so. I don't know if anybody in here has any kind of information to help me out. I need to go hunt Pixel, I think.
Yeah, go track him down, open his brain up, take out the info you need, and close it back up.
Yeah.
Put them back together, just like you found them, and then
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah, that's true. What are you watching for TV stuff? I mean, what's your TV?
My computer.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I mean, I have a TV, but my wife's the only one who usually uses it. It's pretty rare. I sit out there and watch it, but occasionally I do. It's just an old. I guess it's about 10 years old now. Just a little Sony, like 35-inch, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't really watch TV. I've never been a big TV guy. I've always had one like on in the background or something for background noise. But as the internet got better and I can do that with other stuff, I just phased it out. I've always found 99% of the stuff that's on television to be just utter garbage. And then commercials are quite literally make me want to just commit atrocities. So I
Right.
try to avoid them as much as I can. So my computer, I can set it up so I never have to see an ad unless I want to.
Yeah,
And I
me too.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I don't watch
appreciate
TV either. I watch either YouTube or I watch some movie or something like that. One thing I have to say that I do like about this because, like I said, I do have that OLED. We got that OLED thing. I wasn't that long ago. I probably talked about it here. It was a couple of years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. It wasn't that long ago.
Mhm.
I have that in the other kind of other room, but we only use that to watch like a movie.
Yeah.
And I like I said, I'm not really a huge fan of the OLED, but whatever. But I don't use it hardly. I got it because we had a TV in there that was even older than this one, and it just was time, right? So we went and we like, oh, all right, we'll try the new thing. But this one here is actually this is a bigger TV. Actually, I might want to switch them. No, I don't want to mess with that over here. But this one though, I've actually took time last night doing all the setup and stuff. Ooh, they're all fancy now, dude.
Oh yeah, they're ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they got everything built in. It's like a Google TV, I guess, is part or a part of the setup. So, I mean, my wife has like one of those Fire Stick things. I don't know if you guys have ever used those, but
Oh yeah.
it's really good because it takes an old TV and allows you to access, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, net, whatever. It works. They're really nice, but it's all built into these new TVs. I'm sure the other one has that too. I just never messed around with it, right?
Hmm.
But I spent some time yesterday messing around with this thing and setting it up, and I was like, "Ooh, they're pretty handy now, dude." But I know I'm behind the times though. Everyone else here has been dealing with these for probably years and years. It's my first 4K TV, so because I didn't have
Yeah,
one of those before.
I've never. I don't know. I as much as I'm trying to think how do I word this. It doesn't do anything for me. You know what I mean? Like really nice TVs just don't excite me. Yeah, I've often talked about maybe getting a real big one, but then I sit here and I'm like, would I even watch it? If I was going to get a big anything, it'd be a couple monitors or something, right, for my computer, because that's where that's where my eyes are. Whether I'm writing or I'm watching something or whatever, it's here. It's not out there, and
Yeah,
I'd much rather be in my little area comfortable than somewhere else and watching something. Um, like I have my own. It's our dressing room where our dressers are, and then where my desk and my computer is.
yeah.
So that's all that's really in here, and it's quite nice. Quite nice to have my own little space.
Yeah, no, it is. It definitely is. But you're kind of sounds like you're like my kids. I bought them, when I set up their apartments and my daughter's now living in a city, but my son is still at university. But when I set up their apartments and got all the furniture, refrigerators, all that kind of stuff you got to buy, I got them pretty nice little TVs, and they just hardly use them because they're that generation. They're on their laptops. I bought them laptops too. And that's they pretty much just use laptops all the time. So there's two
Yep.
wasted TVs just sitting over there, really.
I mean, especially considering when you think about it, you can get a monitor that is way better, and they have been for a long time, than a TV as far as resolution goes.
Mm,
So that's just what I've always. Now my monitors are two really old Dell monitors, like really old,
mm.
but I've never needed to replace them. I mean, yeah, I could just to get higher resolution, I guess, but I don't care. enough. Like, I'm not one of these people who typically are too impressed by graphics. Yeah, some things are great, like on video games or whatever.
Sure.
But if it didn't have those, okay, does the game play well? Right? Is the story
Yeah.
good?
Yeah.
It's that kind of. That's how I am. I don't care about all the frills. Give me the meat and potatoes of it. Is the meat and potatoes of it good? Don't feed me a bunch of garnish and tell me to love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just how I am.
Well, I have an EEMA monitor, and it works really well. It's one of those touchscreen monitors. It's good.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't need anything else. I've had this for a long time too. I'm actually I'm kind of slow to upgrading electronics. I do it when I have to. I think I'm on like an 8 year cycle, a 7 year
Hmm.
cycle. I've had them replace everything, something like that, on average. But I'm not really the guy who needs every single new upgrade. I'm not that dude.
Right.
Which is fine if you are. I mean, that there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm not that guy. However, like I said, this is my first 4K, and it is freaking awesome. I watched Hellboy 2 last night,
Hmm.
and it's like watching in the movie for the first time. I
Nice.
don't know why, but you would think the OLED would be cooler, but I prefer the 4K. It's
Really?
really nice. I was very impressed with it. I like it a lot. Now, of course, the OLED I got was just kind of like a cheaper line of one. We got for the other room because I knew I wouldn't use it as much. It's not very big either. This one is the like the Bravia top line at 4K, right? It's a
Hmm.
biggie too. So maybe that's the difference I'm seeing. I don't know. Uh, but um, but anyway, it's cool, and my wife and I will use it quite a bit, I'm sure. But I'm having some troubles with capture, so if anybody has any advice for me, help me out. Because you'll see when I get into the things today, everything's kind of washed out, and I don't get it because the screen is so gorgeous. You would think, and this computer is more than capable of capturing it. I mean, this is
Right.
like this freaking beast over here, which I have a couple of little kind of shop or school computers for little things, but this one over here is I guess technically a gaming computer, but it's also spec for high for YouTube, so that's why I'm using this one for YouTube. But that's another thing for me too. A lot of my tech kind of shares between either my home and my school, right? Because I use
Right.
both, right? So I don't know. So there you go. Eric says his Bravi has been running for 11 years, still looking good, still sounds good, not replace until I need to. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand. It's the same for me. I like Sony. I think Sony has just better, it's just prettier. It's just to
Yeah.
my eye. I think each company is different. Depends on your eyes.
Hmm.
Because although I have to say, I'm kind of a Sony guy, so I tend to buy Sonys. But when I was at the shop looking at them yesterday, I already knew what I wanted. I do the research. I'm one of those boring people. But I have to say, those Panasonics are looking good too, man.
Yeah, they are. No, I always tell people, because I was in the appliance repair business for so long. If you want a good electronic, Sony or LG even are good. If you want a good appliance, stay the hell away from anything made by the people who make good electronics, because they're going to put way too many circuit boards in it. Circuit boards break. It's what they do. They're like boats. Boats always break. Well, so do circuit boards. So the more they have in them, the more times you're going to have to fix the thing.
Yeah, yeah,
So avoid them for stuff that you're going to use that has actual functionary purpose. If it's an electronic like a TV or whatever, they're probably the best. I personally still think Sony's they call them appliances, but TVs are probably the best, at least from my experience.
okay,
Ever since I've been buying my own TVs, I've only ever liked Sony's. Um, but if you're going to get something like, I don't think so. Well, they might over there, but I don't think they do over here, make appliances. But if you're going to get an appliance like an actual functional kitchen appliance or whatever, I always tell people, if you're in America, stick with the American company, or at least the ones that used to be American companies,
yeah,
because they make better appliances. The other ones make great electronics. If you
yeah.
want your thing to do all kinds of stuff you don't care about, it'll do it, but it probably won't wash the clothes as well as the other
Oh,
ones.
that's
So,
interesting. Yeah, I don't have choice, of course. They don't sell anything over here other than
mhm.
Japanese products. They're very, very strict about such things.
Yeah,
Let's
see,
see.
Eric knows. LG and Samsung's appliances suck. Yep.
Yeah, no. Well, you guys are both same business. And finding LG or Samsung over here, you can dig it out if you go internet shopping, but the stores refuse to carry Korean shit.
I love it. I
Yeah,
love
they
Japan. I'm
refuse.
not even there, and I love it.
Yeah.
That
Um,
should be the way everybody is in the whole world, capitalists. But you're greedy and think that all that matters is profit. And I
no,
love
well,
capitalism, but the capitalists make capitalism really hard to defend.
well, here in Japan, they want to make sure that the local people are making money, and
Yes,
that's why everyone in Japan's middle class because it's hard to get foreign stuff, and if you do, you're paying for it. You're paying for it.
yes.
And yeah, no, Samsung's a good company, dude. I know they are, Roger. I know they are. I just
Actually, you know what? I'm
I've
an
always
idiot.
been
I
a
kept
Sony
saying
guy.
Sony because you said Sony. I meant Samsung TVs.
Yeah,
Samsung TVs and Sony's are just as good though. They're like neck and neck, from what I've seen. Because I've
yeah.
researched them a lot too when I bought mine a lot. This was 10 years ago, so it could be completely different now. But um, they're both just really good. I mean, if you want to get a good electronic, unfortunately, for Americans who like to buy American, they just don't exist from American companies. Not good ones anyway. The
No, RCA
the
used to be good, but that was like 30 years ago.
yeah,
Yeah.
those East Asians can just put together an electronic that is just they just do it better. I don't know what they're doing, but they do it better.
Oh, I know what they're doing. Yeah, no, I understand exactly what it is, and this is what it is. If you go to a McDonald's here in Japan, you'll be shocked. You'll feel like you just went to a restaurant because
Hmm.
everyone in there is taking their job very seriously. They are doing their job at the highest level that they possibly can. They are
Yep.
polite and courteous, and it's just a McDonald's. And
Hmm.
Westerners have a different attitude. People who work at McDonald's, sometimes you get some good workers, but a lot of them are just shithead kids who just don't care, right?
Right.
That doesn't
The
exist
only
here in
one
Japan.
that is like that here consistently is Chick-fil-A. If you go to a Chick-fil-A,
Well,
at
that's
least the
good.
ones around here, they're always crazy busy to the point where they have people literally they have to come outside to take the orders because there's just too many cars in the drive-through. Right, you can't go in right now, or most of them have their indoors shut down because of COVID nonsense. But regardless, even when it's not, there's still a ton of people outside because they're so busy and they ask you your name and they'll actually while you're waiting if you have to wait which you almost never do but if you do they'll actually try to talk to you let's have a pleasant basic small talk conversation
Mm,
and their customer service the one I go to typically when I was going especially they messed something up right they made a mistake and I went in like hey they gave me the wrong whatever it was or they forgot my fry or something nothing not a big deal I go in and they're like oh I'm so sorry and he gives me a voucher for 2 free sandwiches because I
yeah,
forgot to put a fry in the bag. Like that's the kind of customer service that all of them should have.
they should,
But
and
the
that's the
reason they do
Japan
it
standard.
Chick-fil-A is because from what I understand is they pay a little more than average for that job, and even if they only they'll hire teenagers, but they make sure that those teenagers carry a certain grade point average and don't cause any trouble. And if they do,
Mm,
they fire them. They get them
yeah.
out. Go focus on that.
Well, and that's important, right? I mean, when I was a kid, my first official job, I mean, I had my own lawn care business and stuff like that when I was little. But my first official job, I was like what 14, 15 or something like that. And
Hmm.
I worked just at a job lot. And just for, I was just a shelf stalker, right? But I
Right.
had to take a test, an actual test to check your intelligence and stuff like that.
Yep.
I'm proud to say I passed the test. So, but I'm just saying that they used to do that for everything. Even something like a stock boy had to take a test, right?
Yeah.
But
Aptitude test.
yeah. And this is why in Japan, if you move that up the ladder into a factory setting, like an electronics factory, you're getting the same quality of service,
Right.
and it's across the board. So they know that, and everyone's proud and happy to go to work. The Japanese are weird, dude.
I have just on speaking on great appliances. I have an old that they were my parents that I had pretty much my whole life. When they moved out of their house, I took their washer and dryer, their old Whirlpools from like the 80s or 90s. I don't know when. I've had them. I don't remember when they bought them. I've had them basically my whole life.
Yeah,
These things are all beat up to hell, right? They're rusty and everything, but they run like champions. So I don't care if they're ugly; they do the job. Um, Whirlpool used to be, I don't think they still are, but they used to be designed by technicians. Their engineer corps used
Hmm.
to be the guys who were their head, like technicians, their head technicians or whatever. So they would go and then they would have them come in and be like, "Hey, how should we design this?" So they were real easy to fix, and they lasted forever. They were simple. They did the job. They weren't fancy, but they lasted. Mine's been 30 years. These are 30-year-old machines, and there's no signs of dying. I've only had to put one maintenance kit in the washer because I overloaded it. That was my fault.
Right.
Other than that, there's no signs of anything dying on it and everything else. Whereas I think what you see coming out of the Asians, they make these really meticulous and they're hard workers and things, but for whatever reason, their quality control's not as good on the appliances, and they just simply don't last long. So,
Well, that might
like
be
Eric said over
intentional.
here, well, it probably is. He watched one explode. I've seen that happen too.
Oh wow.
Samsung
Yeah.
washer. Literally, the engine, or not the engine, the motor inside of it tied up so tightly, and the field kept spinning, and it just
Uh-huh.
the magnets in there reversed polarity and flew apart,
Oh wow.
exploded
That's not
inside the
good.
machine.
That's not
Uh,
good.
it's because what it is they're over designed. There's too much tech in these things that isn't necessary, that the stuff from 30, 40 years ago didn't have, but the stuff from 30, 40 years ago works better because
Yeah.
it's not over designed.
Well, they they don't build things like they used to. That's for damn sure.
No.
I bought my parents a big, huge RCA TV, back in the '80s, and they
Mm,
just replaced it a couple years ago. I mean,
wow.
that's how they used to build things. But
Yep.
that's all well and good. Looking over here at the stuff, Dave says old movies and TV shows look weird on the new TVs to me, especially when the camera moves. I would agree that's true with the OLED. I know, because every time I go to look at the TVs, they're just OLED, OLED, OLED. They're pushing the hell out of it, and that's why like a year, what was it you got? I don't know, like a year or so ago, less I think. I bought that OLED. It's not a big one though. It's like a 40 incher or something like that. It's not a big TV. But I'm just not a big fan. I don't know if it's. I think the tech is just too young. I really do. I think it'll
Probably.
probably be awesome in the future, but it's too young. This 4K thing, I love it. I think it's and I know I'm late to the game. I'm sure everybody here has a 4K TV forever. I mean, Eric's had one for it looks like 10 years, but I'm new to it, and I love it, dude. I think it's gorgeous. So I guess I should have updated sooner, but I'm slow. I'm really slow on that kind of stuff, dude.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll care when we get to the holographic projectors that you
Oh,
can get
that'd
in
be
your
neat.
house.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
getting there. The technology's there. They can do it now with holograms, even to the point I saw in Germany they had holograms you could touch. I said, "Excuse me,
Oh, yeah.
did you just tell me holodecks are possible?" Wait a minute, because wait a minute, back up. Holodecks are possible. That if that doesn't happen before I'm dead, I'm gonna be very angry. I'm gonna be very upset if
Yeah.
I don't get a holodeck before I'm dead.
Well,
But
I saw one of those holographic shows here in Japan, a year or so ago, and I didn't know. I don't know about touching it, but looking at the thing, it was beautiful. It looked real.
yeah,
Yeah, they did it
yeah.
on the riverside.
hmm
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
That's coming. That tech will be made small enough eventually that you'll be able to have it right in your house. Just there you go. There's your holographic scene you're
Yeah.
watching. Just in a few, probably in less than 10 years, if I had to guess. They already can do crazy stuff with the holograms, just where you'll
Yeah.
think it's real. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference if they didn't tell you.
No, it was big scale too. It was
hmm
Panasonic was put it was like a fireworks display, and they before they got to the fireworks, they did this kind of like I don't know, it was like 7 minutes, 8 minutes. It wasn't very long, but it was cool. It was pretty neat. Presented
hmm
by Panasonic. But anyway, if anybody does have some expertise to help me understand why my capture, and it's not the computer. This computer has got a Zotac a GTX in it, dude. This is a badass video processor.
hmm
It's not the computer. I know that. But if anybody knows why I'm having trouble with this, it must be a 4K thing. I don't know what it is. Someone probably knows. It's probably a button I need to push right? And I have no clue. But if you can help me out, I'd appreciate it. But yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it's weird. You would think I'd be a person who'd be on top of the tech more, huh? Maybe not. I don't know.
Uh, no.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I'm really, really passionate about that I spend real time and kind of mull over my decisions like with a car. I'm very, very strict about
Oh
my
yeah.
cars. But the electronic stuff, I kind of just do 'em. Although the computer one, I do research, and I like when I got this computer, I did a whole bunch of research, and then I went over to like I don't know. It's called Applied here in Japan, but it's basically one of those places you go and it's they don't sell computers just straight. It's all custom made type of place,
Right.
you know. And I had them build me one. So, I guess I took a little bit of time with that, but I don't know. Whatever. It's nice TV, so I'm happy to have it, but I am having a little trouble. So, anybody have any thoughts on that? Whirlpool lasted 25 years. Yeah, no, they used to last a long time. Companies build them to break now, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, that should be illegal. That should be heavy fines, heavy regulated, in my
It
opinion.
should be. It should be. Yeah, I agree with that. But anyway, we've chatted here for quite a while, and like I said, if anybody has any advice for me or to help me out, let me know. But let's go ahead and let's see how this goes. And see, now that's not showing over here, but it's showing over there. That's odd. It doesn't matter though. So let me share screen and do like this and do like that. Okay, it's working, so that's good.
Let's.
And it's
It is
capturing,
indeed.
but it's doing it very slowly though.
Hmm.
That's
It is strange.
it is strange, yeah. Because you're not seeing it yet, right?
No, I see it. I mean, it looks. I don't know. It looks fine though on my end.
Huh.
It might be a little washed out, but I can't really tell because I don't know what this page is supposed to look like. So
Well, I mean, it's not displaying on the OBS, and I think it's an OBS problem. I think it
sounds
is.
like it. They've broken it again.
I guess so, or I did. I mean, it's probably. I'm sure it's my fault. So I'm just trying to now. Why am I having trouble here? Why is it not? Oh, there it goes. Now see, it's the delay. It's got a huge delay. Hmm. So I might have to go to my settings here in my OBS. Let me check it real quick and see if I can't. Let's see. It's check stream. No, no, no. Uh, appearance. Maybe in there. Huh. Nope. That's not helping. Let's see. Mm, hmm. Yeah, I'll have to play around with it later and figure out what's going on. But anyway, let me go over here and just start doing this, and we'll get into it. You can see it though, so it's all good. But it's just really, really slow and delayed. So I'll wait for that to come up because for some reason the OBS seems to be really slow in in the Discord too. Are you seeing it in the full screen? No, you wouldn't see that. The OBS is capturing very, very slowly. It's what is this? 30, 20, 30 seconds? Huh.
Interesting. Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks fine to me.
Yeah, but they should be seeing my full screen I have. It's really delayed. Broadcasting with boomers. Thank you very much, Eric. My parents are the boomers. I'm not the boomer, and neither are you. But I'll just wait for this to come up over here, and I'll start talking about it. Yeah, there's definitely a delay. Maybe there's something going on. Hmm. You think it's just simply the upgrade to a 4K would do that?
I doubt it. It's probably just something interfering.
Yeah, it's weird because you would imagine everybody else has been doing the same thing. Because like I said, I know I'm slow to the upgrading stuff. Uh, Yeah, and because it's the OBS, I'm pretty sure now because it's just taking forever uh, for it to capture. Let me go over here real quick. If I go in here, everything's fine on that side. Okay, that's fine. It is showing on that side. Okay, so that looks fine. Huh. Wow. It's still not showing. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Broadcasting with Gen Xers. Thank you, Eric. That's much better. Um, I appreciate you.
I mean, I
Uh,
see it on the stream. It's just in one little corner.
yeah, but
Uh,
but normally I hit the full screen and it shows instantly, because I will put that up for you because you're on the Discord because I'm capturing the Discord as well. But when I bring up my main screen, it will pop over here, and then I will show them, and which you can click on my share screen and see what I'm doing simultaneously. So I don't know. Just we'll give it a minute here, and if, it's still not capturing it for some reason, and it should be. Let me see here. Yeah, no, it's definitely. I don't know if it's a ratio issue because it says the this other screen is a 3840 by 2160,
mm-hmm.
whatever that means. Okay, so it's yeah, but it's not capturing, dude. So maybe what I need to do is maybe I need to go into the Discord. Huh? Where is it here? There. Maybe I need to go into here and I need to do like and yeah, see now that's capturing instantly. Huh. All right, so I'll do it this way. All right, that works. All right, that works. So you can see it and they can see it. So all right, let me see. The problem with that though is that's going to be up all the time now because I'm huh. Oh well, I don't think there's any way I can get away with that because the bottom is popping up and showing on the screen unless I do like this. No, and now it's just being bizarre. Okay. All right, stop it. All right, fine.
There, now you're full screen on this end.
Yeah, not really.
I mean, you're full screen through Discord anyway.
Oh well, I think I'm well, at least Eric's happy. He loves to see me have technical difficulties. Right? Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get away with that. All right, well that's fine. Let me go ahead and just start then. Let's do it here. Anyway, you guys know I like to start with board game stuff, and I'm going to do that here. What I have here, of course, is Fantasy Flight's web page. Now, Fantasy Flight games, I remember getting their games, getting their stuff way, way, way back, like in the late '80s, early '90s. They kind of came up out of that the open gaming license that came out with third edition of Dungeons and Dragons, and a lot of companies kind of made their salt on that, right? And they came up, like I said, Green Ronin certainly did. Many of them. Fantasy Flight was one of them. They sold a bunch of, uh, you know, gaming books for third edition D&D, and I own a bunch of them. But somehow along the line, they started getting into making board games, and they're one of the biggest board game makers in the world now. And they own a lot of IPs as well. Like for instance, of course, we have the Descent games, which what they kind of became famous for. Descent is a great mini game where you're kind of dungeon crawling. It's a lot of fun. But they also own like Star Wars. They own like uh, you know uh, uh, Marvel and all that kind of stuff. And now it's not
Mm-hmm.
wanting, and it's very, very slow. It's not even scrolling for me now. Huh. It won't even scroll. Um, damn it, dude. See, because I can't do that on that. And now, okay, now I'm getting a little bit better color from you. All right, I'm having a hard time today. I apologize, guys. And then your color, and now it decided to come up. I don't know. There's something weird going on. All right, let me continue. Anyway, as you can see, they have a lot of different games here that they've been doing for, like I said, a very long time, and they become kind of the Mercedes of board games in a way, where they have just the most amazing products. They put out beautiful games, and I think one of the best things they do, and they sell just crazy number of games. It's insane, but one of the best things they do is actually the Star Wars stuff, and they have some really good Star Wars board games, card games, what have you. One of my favorite is a Star Wars living card game, or LCG. It's really, really good. And the LCGs are fun too because something like Marvel, which is a collectible card game, right? A CCG. Those, well, you're constantly trying to buy new stuff, right? Magic and all that kind of stuff. With the LCG, you get everything in one box, and you could just play the game, right? I prefer those kind of things. But nevertheless, I'm not getting any kind of display capture here. So I have a huge problem. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to, it's going to pick up any of the stories here. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to. I don't know what to do. No, OBS is fine, dude. I don't know what to do. Let me go over here into the OBS because I have a feeling it's an OBS problem. Let me see. I got general stream output. I don't think it would be output. Streaming, yes, yes, yes. Everything looks fine. Video. Okay, I got my canvas. I got my output resolution, and that's doing what it's supposed to do. I got it. My 30. That's fine. The base canvas revolution. I don't even know what that means. All right, you're not helping very much, Thundero.
Yeah, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. That's why I don't use OBS. It often screws things up.
Yeah, but I had no trouble with the other TV. I might have to bring the other TV and put it somewhere around here to use in that fashion. Huh. Well, you know what I might be able to do is let me go over here and do like this. Well, let me put this up first, real quick. Where is it? There we go. Let me put this up, and that's it. That popped up real quick. All right. And let me bring it over. All righty. And then maybe I can do like this. See, even the mouse is acting weird. Yeah, I got a problem. going on here, dude. Uh, oh well, right?
Something's happening. Something terrible.
Something is. So let me do like this, and because usually I'm capturing that other screen, but
Well, you could send me the links you're going to use, and I could open them and share my screen, and you could capture through that way. And
yeah,
so
no,
that way
I
you're not having to worry about it.
true, but that's incredibly inefficient. Um, let me. I think I
Like,
can.
see, on my, it's still coming through with a weird. It's set. It seems like the saturation between the two is messed up for some reason. Because when I look at it in Discord, it looks fine. When I look at it on the stream over here on my other screen, it's the colors are all wrong.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
they're
no,
not
no.
wrong. They're not the wrong color. They're just they don't look right.
Yeah. Well, no, I could do it like this. So I'm capturing now, and everything should look good. How's it look now?
Well, hang on. It's still doing.
Still, can you see it scrolling just fine?
On in Discord, I can't. I'm waiting for the stream to catch up. Ba-ba-bo. Come on. Come on. Yeah, no, it won't. It's not scrolling on this stream. I don't see it scroll at all. No, there it goes. Wait.
It's
There it
just a
goes.
huge delay.
Huge delay. That was like a 25, 30-second delay.
All
Yeah, I
right.
have no idea why.
All right. I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to do that. All right. Let me. I got to figure it out. I do apologize. Let me just come back over here and chat a little bit more with Thundero and just kind of be done with it, I guess.
Well, we can talk about that. That's right there on the screen. We don't really need to scroll down for that. Because, yeah, like I tell people all the time, it's probably true. Mark Millar allegedly told 95% of the comic book audience is not on Twitter, says statistics must be mind-blowing for the company marketing departments. Yeah, I say it all the time. Twitter is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Most audiences of everything aren't on Twitter. Only like 10%, I think, of the whole country of America is on Twitter. Yet for some reason, Twitter dictates everything. Everything. All the marketing strategies, what happens in most movies, what big companies do with their policies. For some reason, they defer to the rage on Twitter. They don't want to upset Twitter. Even have politicians will say something like that, right? They'll say basically the same thing. They don't want to upset Twitter. It's preposterous. It's complete and utter nonsense. Twitter is not relevant. It's never been relevant. But for some reason, all of the marketing companies, all of the marketing departments have decided that it's the most relevant thing there is.
Yeah.
And they focus an insane amount of their energy. Last I knew, and this was 10 years ago, it's probably even more now, something like a fifth of all marketing is done through social media.
Yeah.
Why? Why? I have never in my life, and I don't think I know anybody, who's been on Facebook or Twitter, seen an ad for something and been like, I want that. That's what I want. That right there. Never happened in my life. Even when they do their focused ads, right? They'll do them for your area or whatever. Never. Never happened. I personally don't think marketing really works at all. I think it's a massive slush fund and it's a big con. Because unless maybe it's just because I'm smart, it just doesn't work. It does nothing for me at all. At all. It doesn't make me want to buy their product or whatever. Almost 90% of the time anyway. Maybe there's a few times where I've seen something and maybe their commercial was really funny or something. I was like, that's cool. Maybe I'll buy that. Something like that. Or it's just something really cool that I would have bought anyway once I saw it. But most of these companies have been around for God knows. They have products that have been around for God knows how long. It's not like anybody's in a big, really needs to know about the next great soda pop. Like the world isn't going to stop because I don't know that there's a vanilla flavor of Coca-Cola, right?
No, that's true.
It's not a big life-changing event. It's not even a momentous occasion of any description to watch most commercials. Yet for some reason, there's huge amounts of money that could be spent on actually making the world a better place, thrown at marketing. Each one of these big movies has like $100 million marketing budget. $100 million! That's so much money!
Yeah. No, it's true.
Ugh.
It seems like I kind of got something kind of working here, so I'll try to go with it. But no, yes, no. Mark Millar, interesting, making a very truthful statement that he was surprised that 95% of all comic book audiences are not on Twitter.
Yep.
And of course, what he is kind of putting a jab at is that the big two, like DC and Marvel, where they're constantly trying to sell to Twitter and this fake audience and the wokeness and stuff like that.
Hmm.
He's really digging in their ass, actually. Mark Millar, he
He's
was
doing it
shocked by the
very
number.
intelligently, though. That's a pretty smart way of doing, because that's what he's doing. Even if, let's give him devil's advocate and say that's not what he's trying to do, and he was just making an offhanded comment that he heard some factoid, right? I don't believe that. I think that's exactly what he was trying to do, but he was doing it very smart, because how do you argue against this?
Yeah,
First of all, it's just something he's claiming that he heard, which is probably pretty close to true, because I would think a lot of the comic book audience is older guys, older men. And there's not a lot of older men hanging out on Twitter all day. They're just not. And what I mean by older, I mean like 30 to 50 and up. Right? That's pretty much the comic book audience, whether we like it or not.
hmm
That's who it is.
it is.
And
Yeah,
I don't think there's too many of them that are hanging out on Twitter all day. Now, if you were around Comicsgate, you would think this, because a lot of them get on there and have kid fights like they're 12-year-old girls. But other than that, the vast majority of the audience isn't on there all day. Just, oh, what's happening on Twitter? No, they're living their life. They're not focused on what Twitter's doing. They just don't care. I would say there's probably way more of them. I can guarantee you this, actually, on Facebook. You would think it would be Facebook would be the one they really try to push their marketing towards, like these comic book companies and things. And maybe they do. I don't know. I don't know their marketing strategies.
right,
But you would think that would be the one, because that's where more family people are, right? People in
right.
their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, where they talk to their family on there and stuff, and you could market these books directly to them, but they're not making them for them. They're making them, a lot of them anyway, for the Twitter audience,
Twitter audience,
who
which they
doesn't buy
don't,
them.
which doesn't buy them. Yeah, and of
Yeah.
course, Facebook is going down hard because
Yeah.
they've become the focus. So Facebook's going to go away anyway, or at least be radically broken up and changed. So we'll see how
Yeah.
that goes. But yeah, no, it's interesting by Mr. Millar here in his statement. Of course, this is something we've known for a long time. But one of the thing he's missing, because he's making a very practical argument here,
Hmm.
but the thing he's missing, of course, is the fact that they don't care anything at all about making money. This is an
Nope.
agenda, and
Yes.
that's what they're out for. And he's putting it to him. He's giving him hell, and good on him for doing that. But these people have an agenda. They don't care anything about sales and money. That means nothing. They have to educate all of us, right? That's their deal. So you know,
Oh, I thought I gave Grimlock stream regular. Now he has it. Here, let me pull him in here.
all righty.
Hey,
Um,
Grimlock.
hey Grimlock.
Now, from now on, you should be able to just click in here. I thought I had given you that role, but apparently I didn't.
Now I brought up the next story. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay,
New rumor claims a Joker sequel is in development. Director Todd Phillips previously said no sequel was in development. Well, I think it's pretty obvious that a sequel was going to happen. That movie was way too successful. I don't know if we need a sequel. I don't know if that movie needs a sequel, but you don't make that kind of return on that low of a budget in the
Yeah.
studio not being like, oh, we're making another one of
Oh
these.
yeah, and
Because that's going to happen.
well, especially with Joaquin instantly saying he'd love to do another one, and he doesn't do
Yeah.
sequels, right? But
No.
like immediately he was like, "Oh, I loved it. I'd love to do another one," and they should.
Yes.
I've heard some reviewers and commentators on YouTube make the statement that, well, what is there to do? It was pretty, insular type of story, and it was like, yeah, well, yeah, it was, but it clearly there's places to go with it. Clearly,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Definitely.
easily. And
My only trepidation is they got lightning in a bottle with that movie. That
they
is
did.
probably the best superhero movie ever made, and it's about a supervillain.
Mhm.
As far as like not from like you watching it with the little kid inside of you loving it, but from the fact of as a film,
A
that is
film,
probably
yeah.
the best one ever
Well,
made.
it's like a
Uh,
Scorsese film, dude.
yeah, it's fantastic, and it made a ton of money largely just because it was fantastic. Because I think a lot of people kind of expected it to be garbage. I think a lot of people were looking to be like, "Oh, this is going to be bad, isn't it?" And then it wasn't. It was the exact opposite of that. In fact, it was fantastic, and it was one of those pleasant surprises, I think, to the movie-going audience from what I've seen anyway, from what I've
Yeah.
heard people say. Um, and yeah, it was absolutely a brilliant movie. I don't. It's not that I don't want them to make another one if they can get the same people with the same creative force behind it. Yes, yes. If Joaquin's not in it, no, don't make it. Don't even try. I don't care
Yeah,
who else
no,
you.
don't
I
do
don't care
that.
how great the other actor is. That's his role for now. Let it be his until he's done with it. Period.
Yeah. And
And the director he's fantastic. He's always been fantastic. He was just making a bunch of like comedy movies and whatever. But he clearly knows how to do this movie, how to make this character a protagonist while not making him a good guy. Because you can do that. There's a way to do it narratively, and he did it. And I think they could do it. Now, that being said, does the movie need it? No, absolutely not. There's some threads they could pull on and tell more stories, sure, but they don't need to. The ending of that movie is it's
brilliant.
fine. It's right
Yeah,
where it
it
should
was
be.
brilliant.
Yep.
Yeah, but they
Yep.
could easily though. That you can see that going places very, very
Oh,
easy.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I hope he goes psychotically bloody with it. I mean, just ridiculous. I want to see the Joker's full break and just absolutely embracing the intestines of his victim. That's what I want. And
See him gas a bunch of children. Just some crazy stuff, right? Go way over the top.
yeah. And the thing that's interesting with the way they did it, you don't need Batman yet. You
Yep.
can make like 3 movies with him before you bring Batman in.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah. But of course, the other reason why I put this up here wasn't just because of the announcement, which I'm happy and it sounds like Thundero's happy. Are you happy, Grimlock?
They're thinking about making another one.
Yeah.
No, not really.
Why?
Um, because it's Warner Brothers.
Yeah, he's got a point.
Oh, fair enough.
All right. This is a movie that was largely successful is because they didn't think it was going to be anything. Especially because remember early on they said that the Joker movie was going to have nothing to do, in terms of canon with DC Comics Joker. So a lot of people was kind of dipped out of it, and then lo and behold, this movie turned out to be a massive success. And now Warner Brothers, they're not doing it because they think they'll have another great movie. They're looking to capture lightning in a bottle and make money that they didn't make the first time around.
Right. Well,
It,
I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I have another story. And if I keep this going the way it's going, it seems like this is kind of working. Can you see the stream? Because I'm kind of stuck way over here. Can you see the stream? Is it showing this
Yeah,
fine?
you're good.
Okay,
Yeah, you're
good.
good. It's just
Uh,
it's just like I said, a little washed out, but it's fine.
All right. Well, just hold your horses on that because I have another story connected to this. But my comment on this is I think it was a good movie. I think it's easy to take it to a part two easily. And I don't mind that Batman's in it. I don't mind that it's not the Joker we know. I don't mind any of
Hmm.
those things, and that tells you the quality of the movie, right?
Yeah. It
Be-
also tells you Chester never likes anything,
that's true.
and we usually sometimes we'll have concordance, but usually we'll have a slight disagreement on like a rating or whatever. I think Chester and I are probably about equal on this film.
Yeah.
It is fantastic.
It is
There's
fantastic.
just very few flaws, like the major ones. You can nitpick some stuff, of course, but it's just great. I've watched it a couple of times since I watched it in the theater, and every time I love it. It's just a great movie.
It is. It is really good. And so I'm looking forward to it. But the other reason I put it up here, the last point before I move on, is this rumor announcement, whatever that means. But this rumor coming up actually sent the Twitterati into convulsions, dude. They're still bitching about it. They hate this movie with a passion because they tried to destroy it, they tried to cancel it, and they failed majorly. This is a $1 billion movie, right? And
Yes.
people act like a $1 billion movie is every other day. It's not. It's still not, right? And they're mad, dude. They're just so pissed off that this is getting a sequel, because they told us that this is not for us. This should be canceled. They told us, and we're not listening, and they're upset. Are you worried about their little feelings there, Grimlock?
Nope.
Hey,
Well, that
Twitter? Wait, my bad. No, I could give a fuck of what Twitter thinks. It's
There it is. There it is.
Twitter is the new place where intelligence goes to die. It is
Yep.
the place where people who mentally and emotionally never moved past high school go for emotional validation. No, I don't give a fuck what they think.
Yeah, no, that's fair
I
enough.
mean,
But can you understand, and Thundero as well, what it is that they hate about the movie? Because it has no message of
Yeah, I do. It's real easy. They've said it. It's a white guy. He's white.
just because
They've
he's
straight
a
said it. He's a white man struggling, and they don't think that's appropriate in this day and age to show. I'm not kidding you. That's exactly what a whole bunch of them said. That's how evil they, as much they hate white people. They genuinely can't even look at a white man struggling without getting upset.
Do they not understand that the poorest demographic in America is white?
No, they don't
no,
care.
facts and statistics don't mean anything to these.
They're racist. You got racist facts there, Chester. How dare you?
Well, I'm just
The
saying
vast
it's
majority of homeless people are white men.
true. Yeah.
That doesn't matter, though.
Well, no,
Doesn't matter.
You straight up statistically, the poorest people in America are the Appalachians. The odd thing is, even though they're the poorest people in America, they also have some of the lowest crime in America. How is that?
Well, they have the lowest reported crime. I have a feeling they handle their business.
They probably do. That's probably true.
They're not running to Johnny Law to take care of it unless they have to.
Yeah, that's fair.
I have a feeling. If you're bold enough to go in the mountains to try to steal something,
Yeah.
you're probably not getting out alive.
Yeah.
No, they don't play games. That is true. But I don't know. It's just weirdness. They do love to change the gender and of course race of the people a lot. At least that stupid new Anne Boleyn TV show out of the BBC is getting ratioed because it's dumb. Anne Boleyn is not a black chick and it's a historical figure. What are you doing? It's dumbass. But the BBC is completely broken now. They cannot have any series that is not completely ultra diverse. I watched that Shadow and Bone, and the premise is cool. It's got some good ideas in there. It is the kind of the tweeny, type of romance nonsense that they can't get away from. So that parts of it suck. But the overall concept was pretty good. But they had to have one of every color, had to have a gay scene, had to have it, right? In that, because it's a fantasy world, it's fine. It doesn't interfere. But when you're doing historical characters like Achilles or you're doing like Anne Boleyn or stuff like that, and they've done other things too, Queen Catherine and things. It's stop that. That's not. What are you doing? Dumb people. But whatever. Let me move on here to a couple of ones I have here. The reason I was mentioning about the Warner Brothers thing is Warner Brothers and has been kind of put together with the Discovery package, and it looks like I don't. Did I bring that up? No, this is the MGM stuff, which I want to talk about too. I didn't bring that up. Damn it. Yeah, I didn't bring it up. Oh, it was supposed to be this one. Oh yeah,
There you
no,
go.
here
Yeah,
it is.
that's
Here
it.
it is. Here it is. Okay. Go ahead, Thunder.
Rumor: entity resulting from Warner Media merger with Discovery could be sold. There should be a comma there. Could be sold to Disney, placing DC under same ownership as Marvel. I actually kind of figured that was the end game
Yeah.
for the people who bought Warner Media
Yeah.
way back, however long ago it was now. Because Disney would really like to control that all of that IP. That's all they care about, by the way. Anybody who thinks, oh, well, maybe they'll save the yeah, okay. No, they care about the IP. They don't care about making them successful even. They just care about having control of them so nobody else can make them successful. They're literally buying their competition away to make sure that they have no competition.
Yeah.
One of the main reasons they wanted Star Wars, not the main one, but one of them, was because George was competition. Star Wars was massive under George Lucas, massive.
Yeah.
And I mean, he made something like $3 or $4 billion, I think. I can't remember, before he sold it to Disney for $6 billion or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So there's a reason they paid that much money, and it wasn't just because it was worth it, or it wasn't even just so they could make money off of it. It was to keep him from growing the brand.
Yeah.
They didn't want the brand to become a competitor or to stay a competitor to Disney. So they got rid of that competition by buying it out. Same thing Vince McMahon did with WCW and ECW at the end of the Monday Night Wars. He just bought them.
And many
So they were
others
gone.
as well before that. He was doing the same
Yes.
thing, remove the
Yes.
competition. But now we've been talking about this for a while though, with the
Yeah.
AT&T purchase, and we've rumored ourselves at it and thought that something like this was going to happen. We know that AT&T is not pleased with their purchase. They have not made the profit that they wanted to make, and them
Yeah.
picking up Discovery and merging them together. We were wondering what they were going to do because there were some rumors coming out that they were going to turn it Warner Brothers just into a reality TV thing, which was a interesting rumor. However, this I think seems more likely. Sell it to
Mhm.
Disney, make your money, move on, and take some of the other pieces of the Warner Brother thing that's not part of this merger with Discovery and do something different with that, sell it or what have you.
Yes.
What do you think about the idea of Disney owning the whole world, though?
I hate everything about it. And I'm not being hyperbolic. As far as outside of personal things, one of the few times in an entertainment-esque way that I was actually genuinely upset that something happened was when Disney bought Star Wars, because I knew what they would do. I knew exactly what they would do, and they did it.
Yeah.
And it was just terrible. And then when they bought Marvel, I was like, great, because now they're going to do it to them too, right? Or I think they bought Marvel first, but whatever. Regardless, the same feeling was applied. And I have no desire to watch Superman be destroyed like Luke Skywalker. None. There is nobody can ever give me a good reason or an excuse that makes sense other than actual bigotry why they turned Luke Skywalker into somebody who attempted to murder his own nephew in his sleep.
Yeah, no, it's pretty nonsense. Yeah, that's fair. And we already see what Warner Brothers happy to do with Superman, with Ta-Nehisi Coates in charge of the new Black Superman. Disney will go another mile. However, Grimlock, I'll ask you this question: doesn't Disney, if this is true, and Disney is looking at buying Warner Media? Now, this article is talking about DC particularly, but understanding Warner Media and Discovery, but what Warner Media. That gives them a lot of IP. And doesn't Disney, by doing this, wouldn't they put themselves in danger of getting monopoly suits coming at them from the government?
Well, I mean, if the government was actually doing its fucking job, that should have been 2 acquisitions ago.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, I was watching a video by Rick Beato. I don't know if you've ever heard of the guy, Chester. He's you might like him. He's a musician. He's a producer, and he has a series called "What Makes This Song Great." He breaks down the song piece by piece.
Uh-huh.
But he was talking about how just 30 years ago, 90% of the media, all media, was split between about 50 companies, and now it's about 4.
Yeah, that's true.
And we're way past talking about monopolies.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
And there are some monopolies that need to be busted up. Google is probably the biggest one. Yeah. I don't know. See, the question posed in this headline, though, is less interesting to me than the question I just asked. Disney owning both. Who cares? Disney's going to do what Disney does. I'm more curious of when are they going to step in and put a stop to it? Because one of the things that these politicians are doing, we know politicians lie. That's their job. We know this. This is nothing surprising. And if you're surprised by that, well, you're 12. Well, no, seriously.
That sounded like a me insult. I like it.
These politicians have gotten to the point with their corruption and their lies that I think they're on the verge of losing complete control of everything. Yeah. And because everyone's talking about we're in a culture war. Well, yeah, but wars can turn into revolutions,
Yeah,
right?
Oh, my
wars
my
are not over
question
till they're
is
over.
how is a company that's more than $600 million in debt even be in position to acquire something else?
They just leverage more of their assets.
Yeah,
So,
China.
like, it doesn't. That's actually when you're in that kind of debt, you don't. The bank doesn't have any say over you. You have say over the bank because they need that money.
Yeah,
That's the type of money they can't not have, right?
yeah,
So when you get in that kind of debt, you're actually the one in the control in that situation. Now,
yeah,
when you get in debt for like a house, well, no, they're fine losing your money and taking the house from you. What are they going to take from Disney? They're going to go shut down Disney World or part of it and get 600 million out of it. See what I mean? Like, it's a lot harder to liquidate that into direct money
right.
than it is a smaller amount of debt. So Trump's actually one of the people who used to do that all the time. Like, they would get on him about, oh, he's got so much debt. Yeah, but that just means the banks owe him, basically, because they can't let him off the hook or they'll go bankrupt.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. But keep in mind that a lot of this has to do with China. People have
yes.
been, we've been reading articles and looking at this for quite a while. China, 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 they're trying to make money in China. No, they're not. They're indebted to China. China holds debt over them, and that's why they're doing it. And the American government too. Keep in mind why the government keeps wanting to do stuff, and Trump was just like, screw that, it's not good business. But the reason they keep doing it is not necessarily because they love China. I mean, there's things that they make profit there, and I get that. But it's because China holds so much of the American debt, right? It's a very similar situation for Disney, I think.
Yes.
So it's not all just politic. I think there's actual real economics going on here as well. But this is interesting news. And let me move on to the other two here because these are interesting as well. Because here is not a rumor. This has just happened. If you guys are paying attention, go ahead, Thunder.
Amazon buys MGM for $8.45 billion.
That's a lot of
Announces
money.
plans to reimagine their IP. Oh boy. Which includes Robocop. I don't like that reimagine word, Chester. I'm triggered by it.
All right, so am
Which
I.
includes Robocop, Stargate, James Bond, and Rocky.
Why those
Oh,
choices? I'm
they're
curious.
gonna they're gonna murder James Bond, aren't they? They're
Oh,
just
they
it's
already
gonna
have.
it's gonna get so
Uh,
bad, dude.
a
Yeah,
reimagining of Rocky. We already have that. It's called Creed. The first one was surprisingly good.
it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing that's interesting to me about MGM makes kind of drama movies. And they don't have any IPs in there that are like Star Wars or Marvel or something or DC. They're all. I mean, look here, we have an example of them here. You talk about Creed was a good movie, James Bond, Legally Blonde, Moonstruck, Poltergeist, Raging Bull, RoboCop. You could do something RoboCop. Silence of the Lambs, Stargate. There's something there, maybe Thelma and Louise, etc., etc. This is a lot of drama-based stuff, and that's all well and good. But you can't build a universe off of Thelma and Louise. You know what I
Yes, I
mean?
agree.
No.
You can do something with RoboCop, like leave it the fuck alone.
Yeah, yeah, that would be best. Stargate, we've been having rumors of that being rebooted. I have no idea what the Handmaid's Tale is, but that is an ugly bitch. Jesus Christ, dude.
That was that show on Hulu that they advertised the hell out of that I don't think anybody cared for.
I don't know. That's an ugly, ugly woman. Jesus, is it a horror movie?
No, there's some drama.
It looks like Eddie Izzard. Someone put Eddie Izzard's face on this chick. What happened? Anyway, I don't care about those kind of things. But whatever. It's an interesting buy for me. Why would Amazon be so excited about MGM? And why would you pay anywhere near that kind of money for it? I just don't think it has value. What is Amazon doing? And more importantly, the connected article here is look at this. Go ahead, Thundera.
U.S. Senator Josh Hawley reacts to Amazon's purchase of MGM. Sales should not go through.
So here you have a senator that's talking about monopoly, right? Which
Yeah.
we were just talking about. So why in the world are you hyping on Amazon's purchase of MGM, but yet nothing about Disney? Are they that protected?
Pretty much
Is
seems that way,
Amazon
doesn't
that
it?
much in the wind, though?
I bet the difference is who in Congress got stock in Disney compared to who's got stock in Amazon.
Probably.
Yeah, no, Amazon should be broken up. All of these, a lot of these big tech companies should be broken up, in my opinion.
They should.
Amazon should be broken up. Facebook should be broken up. Twitter's irrelevant. They pretend they're irrelevant. Now all these marketing departments think they are, but they're not. I would I definitely break up Google into at least 10 different companies, minimum. I would demand that happen. These companies are way too big. They're way too powerful. I don't care about the rules on breaking up companies. They have to have 90% of market or whatever the number is. I don't care. They clearly have way too much power. They're clearly too dangerous to be allowed to continue to have this kind of control over information in this country, especially.
Yeah.
And we don't need an arbiter of that information. Thank you. When the internet was the Wild West, was the most free time maybe in the history of human civilization. We don't need an arbiter over that. We don't need to rein that in. We need to let the internet be the internet. The market do what the market does, and it will be fine. It will be completely fine. You know how I know? Because it was for 25, 30 years. For the most part, it was fine. There was no great emergency that happens because of the internet being unregulated. And effectively, what these companies are becoming is the arbiters. They're becoming the regulators because they're just so big. They control all the traffic. Now, Google claims to not want that power, yet does everything they can to have it. And Facebook is the same way. Zuckerberg constantly goes on in his PR speeches about he doesn't want to be the arbiter of free speech, and maybe we've gone too far with our rules. And then a year later, he goes even farther. So what are you doing? What are you doing, Mark? Calm down. But no, these companies need to be regulated. I agree with Josh here, Josh Hawley. They should not allow this sale to go through. And MGM, if MGM is going to fail on its own, then it fails on its own. That's fine. Sell the IPs off. James Bond, as long as they don't completely destroy it, which we know they're probably going to do, is worth at least $2 billion, just the property alone, I would figure. Yeah. That's probably what most of this sale is, let's be honest, is the Bond franchise. So sell that off, piecemeal the other stuff out, and just, if you have to go the way of the dodo, so be it. That's actually kind of a sad thing. MGM's been around since basically the beginning. So that would be kind of sad, but if that's what happens, it's what happens. I agree. I don't think that Amazon should be allowed to buy up, because really all they want is the IP. They shouldn't be allowed to buy up all these IPs themselves, period. And I agree. I think the right wing of this country is going to have to get very comfortable with the idea that sometimes the government has to step in when corporations are just too powerful.
Well, I agree, of course, and the things I'm looking at here, that MGM has over 17,000 TV shows, and maybe that as part of it as well, because I don't really watch Amazon Prime, but my wife and kids watch it, and there's a lot of crap on there, dude. It's a lot of crap. It's not good. For them to take the MGM thing and just dump it on the Amazon Prime, all these TV shows and stuff, I think it might be just simply a way to pad their Amazon Prime.
I think that's mostly what
it is.
Yeah,
it's the streaming war that's going on. That I hate to tell these companies this. Most of your streaming services are being shared or pirated because most people just they're not $15, $12, $10, $15 a month to own 7 or 8 fucking different streaming services to watch a show that you like on that particular service is not viable long term.
No, it's not. And in a way, I wish they just go back to the cable format.
I mean, seriously, like most people that I know, they got Amazon for what, 1 or 2 shows. Like they got Netflix for 1 or 2 shows. Most you could buy all the IPs you want. It's not going to mean anything.
Yeah, and there's another question I have in mind with this. If you go to Amazon Prime, for instance, there's a lot of bad stuff on there because you could publish yourself on Amazon Prime, I guess. But there are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of movies on Amazon Prime. It's a huge, huge thing. But if you go to Netflix or even much smaller Disney Plus, they don't have a lot of movies on there. It's a very limited choice. And I'm kind of wondering how is it that Amazon can literally put thousands of movies on their Amazon Prime, but Netflix can only have like 100? What's the deal?
Their digital copyrights, whatever they they hold a copyright for a certain amount of time, and then the copyright or whatever expires, and then it's up for grabs for whoever else.
Well, then how come that Disney doesn't have that problem? Because they own everything that they have, but Disney Plus
Because
is small, dude. It's got very
well,
few things on
because
it.
because Disney is literally the goddamn Hydra. You know, you get rid of one copyright and two more appear. Um, they fucking they'll stay on top of that because they don't want their properties on other stuff. They don't even want their properties on stuff that they own. Like they took all the Marvel animated series, for example,
Yeah.
and they moved them from Hulu, which they own more than half of that, and made it exclusive to Disney Plus.
Huh.
So,
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
and
I I agree with Josh. Like I said, they shouldn't allow this sale to go through. You have like the other rumors of other Warner being bought up and whatever. Amazon is clearly Bezos is clearly Prime isn't going away. He's going to push it, and he's going to release probably very large budget films through there using the MGM library if the sale's allowed to go through. Which is smart for him because the whole purpose for him is to get traffic to Amazon. That's it. That's what he's selling.
Hmm.
He's not the stuff they sell and all stuff the marketplace. That's all fine and dandy, and that makes him some money, sure. But what he's really selling is Amazon as a brand. And for order that brand to be successful, he has to have eyeballs on it. He has to have lots of eyeballs on it, and he has to be able to metric that with whether it be through plays or just visits of the website or actual sales through the website. All of these things are indications of eyeballs, right?
Right.
So what he's doing is he's using that. He's then leveraging it to the stock market, basically, to shareholders. And that's what keeps his stock price climbing, going up, 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 up. And he makes, the obscene amounts of money that he has, and Amazon's worth the obscene amounts of money that it's worth. Because, not so much because each individual enterprise that Amazon does makes a ton of money. Some do, some don't. But because he has so many under the Amazon brand, he can make the brand more valuable. He got way out ahead of the curve on this, in the internet especially, probably before everybody else besides, I guess, Google. And Amazon's been around since pretty much day one that the internet started to take off in popularity all over the world. There was Amazon was, I think it was founded like 96, I think. So it's been around a long time. And he knows what he's doing. He's not trying to make necessarily the number one platform for X, Y, and Z. He's trying to make the number one brand for the platforms for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. He's a brilliant guy. He's a completely evil bastard, but he's a brilliant guy, and he knows what he's doing. Again, it's the same thing with Disney. Disney doesn't really care if the comic books sell. Not really. Maybe if it gets too bad, eventually they'll step in. But for the most part, they don't care because the brand, the control, all of that is strong enough, or at least it used to be before the pandemic hit them, that they can still make money on the back end off the strength of the brand, whether it be through the shareholders or through merchandising or whatever. They still make money, and all of this just adds to the strength of the brand. That's why Disney's consolidating so much stuff. That's why Amazon is doing the same thing. It gives them content for their streaming services,
Right.
but their streaming services effectively are just content for the strength of the brand. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what
Well,
it's all about.
well, and I kind of get that thinking. I understand what he's doing, just padding it out. I'm just curious why the other ones don't have as large a library. They're just not doing their job, I guess. Nevertheless, sorry about for all the trouble here today, guys. I'll try to figure it out by tomorrow. Maybe I'll just bring in a small monitor and put it above my computer here and just run the computer off of two little monitors instead of trying to use the TV, um, which I was doing before. Maybe that'll solve the problem. I'll have to look into it. But anyway, thank you all for coming in here today and joining us. I'm going to call it here. So thank you very much, Thundero. Thank you, Grimlock, for coming in. Of course, you're always welcome, and hopefully I'll be able to clean this up by tomorrow. Anybody have any closing statements before I get out of here?
Nope. It's a beautiful day in my part of the world. Hopefully, it is where you are too.
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
And
it was very
that's all
pleasant.
you can ask for at the end of the day. Breath in your lungs, food in your belly, and a beautiful, pleasant day.
True. Grimlock?
I'm with Thundaro. Today was a very pleasant day. Couldn't complain.
It
Just
is
hope
nice.
everybody has a good and safe weekend.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
Well,
Don't
thank
drink
you.
and drive, guys.
No,
I'm
don't.
pretty sure most of our audience wouldn't do that, but this is the time. This is really if you're ever gonna do it, don't do it on a holiday weekend. For crying out loud, you're asking to get caught.
That's true.
Oh, yeah,
the
for-
police
yeah.
are out in force
Yeah,
this weekend. That's true. Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
guys.
get your Uber or designated driver because they're waiting for you.
They most certainly are. All right, guys. We'll check you out tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll have this solved by then. Later.
Bye.
Later.
But if you